question for everybody. Who's on TikTok? Who's not on TikTok? But you know who's on TikTok now? Chris Howe. But somebody got my handle, so I gotta figure that out. But what's more important is that I should have jumped on TikTok a long time ago. I saw an article recently that it said TikTok is the most downloaded app on the Apple App Store. It has like 800 million active users. It's growing quickly. And it's also really fun and very educational. Does anyone else go down the TikTok rabbit hole where they just keep scrolling and watching videos and then saving them and then sending to friends? Because I do that all the time. So I'm sold. I saw a couple TikToks recently that I thought would be fun to recreate on this channel. There's a TikTok from Marina W photo that got 2.8 million views. She has a whole bunch of new followers now. And it's a really fun one that I thought would be interesting to recreate today because not only is it artistic, but I also want to like deep dive into how she did everything because she went through it pretty quickly. There's also another one from Marina W where he took a couple of photos of his cat. And I thought that would also be super fun to try to recreate with Luna. So let's jump into recreating TikToks, but on YouTube. It needs a better title than that, but you get where we're going with this video. Luna, do you want to be in a TikTok video today? Hi. She's sleeping. I'll let her sleep a little longer, then she's gotta work. You gotta be on TikTok. Actually, she's already on TikTok. She has 1,000 followers. We put her on TikTok about 2 or 3 weeks ago, has 1,000 followers. One of the videos went semi-viral, like 80,000 views. And I think it was at that point that I was like, all right, now I gotta get on TikTok. All right, let's start with our first TikTok from Marina W photo. Let's watch it, let's learn, and let's understand how TikTok works. As a elder millennial, I don't know how I feel. It kind of sounds like an attack, doesn't it? You're an elder millennial. Get off of TikTok. But I'm here now. I feel old. I turned 29 last week.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling on Pinterest for some self-portrait ideas when I came across these images, and I decided I want to do my own version with cameras. I started with some shots of myself holding a camera, and then I switched to some shots of just my arm holding them at different directions coming into the frame. I went through all the photos of myself and decided which one I liked best, and started doing some basic adjustments in Lightroom like white balance and color changes. Then I did a little bit of retouching such as blemish removal and dodge and burn. Then I moved over to Photoshop where I did some more retouching with the healing brush tool as well as some liquefying to make my hair a little bit more full. Then I brought that final image into a new canvas at 4x5 inches, which is Instagram's crop, and I extended the sides. Then I went back to Lightroom where I edited the images of my hands holding the camera, brought them into Photoshop and cut them out with a quick selection tool and started to paste them onto my canvas. I made sure they were all proportional to each other and coming in at an angle that I liked, and this was the final image. Check the comments for all the equipment I used.
Marina, that was great. I learned so much in such a short period of time and it was super creative. So I have my white backdrop here that we'll use as like the base for my photo, but something that I've been doing while I've been in quarantine is learning a lot. Part of that is reading books. So maybe I'll go and grab a bunch of books that I've been reading in the last little while and I'll be holding books around me to reflect how I'm feeling during social isolation. Let's get some books. Okay, so welcome to our little library. This might be cool. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. This is actually Lizzie's book, but we're gonna use this one. We got our stack of books. Let's go try to take some photos now. Grab your camera. We're using the Sony a7 III with the 16-35 f2.8 G Master lens. Got our tripod here. This is the Peak Design travel tripod. Try to find the app that links up to your camera so that you can do a remote shutter. If it doesn't have an app, you can actually purchase like a remote shutter so that you can just press the button once you found your frame. But the nice thing about the Sony cameras is it has this Sony mobile imaging app, and what it does is it actually shows you what your frame looks like. You can figure out all your settings, change it from your cell phone, and then press the shutter button when you actually have the frame that you want. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this case, because I think it's really important to know what our final image is like so that we can piece everything together in Lightroom and Photoshop after the fact. So let's get our main image, the one where I'm like sitting in the middle of the frame, and then we'll start building the hands around it. Okay, so we have our app set up here. So as you can see, when I go into frame, you can see it over here on the camera. So I'm gonna try a couple different poses, see what I like. Little pro tip when you're posing, bring your shoulders up, roll them back, bring them down. I think I finally found a frame that I like after playing around for the last couple of minutes. I brought the book a little bit closer where you can see the edge of the paper in the frame, kind of like doing this. I have some ideas of how this is gonna come together now. All right, so we got the base layer photo that I think I'm really happy with. I actually really like the one where I'm going like this, where it looks like I'm speed reading, even though I read really, really slow. The next thing that we're gonna need to capture are the different photos of holding the books in the arms in the frame. So what we're gonna do is not change any of the settings on the camera and start taking a variety of different photos, holding different books and our arms in different positions so that we can place them around our image in post. All right, so now it's time to actually stitch these images together so that we have the final result of all these books flying around our head, or my head. But if it's your head, because you took your photo, so it wouldn't be my head in your photo, it's your head. Back into the edit, let's go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Lightroom and we're gonna pick the images that we like. So I think this one is gonna be one that we use. We're gonna use this one here, and then I think I'm going to layer it with this one and have 3 books rather than a bunch of books, because I think it will look better for the final photo that we're working on. We're gonna right click on this image. We're gonna go to edit in Adobe Photoshop 2020. And what it's gonna do is actually open up that image in Photoshop. So let's grab that first image right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up here to our quick selection tool, and you're gonna go and start selecting our arm right here and pick the edges of the book. Now, it's really important that you actually go in and take a look at the edges to make sure that it really did a good job of capturing our subject here. And if you go and look along here, this is actually a really good masking job. The nice thing is that because we have such contrasting colors, it's easy for Photoshop to really recognize that and select the edges of it nicely. If it was white on white, it'd be a lot harder to do that. So make sure you have some contrasting colors when you're taking your photo. So now that we have that, super easy. What I like to do is just copy, so Command C. We're gonna go back into our main image here and literally just go Command V. And I'm just going to start placing this in different spots. So if you press Command T, you can free transform that image, and you can also change the angle. And we're just gonna do the same thing for our other 3 images. All right, that looks good. Now, if you opened your main image in Lightroom, all you have to do is literally just press Command S, and that will save the image and bring it back into Lightroom. But if you want, you can also just go in and save this file, save it to your computer. So we'll just put it on the desktop as our book edit, and we're gonna save that. See, it's just saved that right into Lightroom, but you can also import that file that you saved, that TIFF file, and you can import that back into Lightroom if you want, which is pretty easy. So we have our final image here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and develop, and I'm just going to pick one of my presets because I think it's actually gonna look pretty good on this. Spirit Wood looks pretty cool. It's a little flat, maybe somewhere between Spirit Wood and Sea Mist. That looks pretty good. And then what we're gonna do is we're just going to crop this for Instagram, so 4x5, and crop this back up. And right there. That's our final image. Marina W photo. Thank you very much for the inspiration for this. Go check out Marina W on TikTok and Instagram. Her stuff is super dope. Okay, so that is our photo. Super stoked on how that turned out. All right, so it's time for our second recreation. That's gonna require the cat. She was hiding right below the camera, which is really nice. Say hi. Are you ready to be in a photo? Yeah? 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 I think it's just because I had some food. So and then she's like, what's that in your mouth? I do want to give a big shout out to this week's sponsor, Skillshare. Now, if you guys do not know about Skillshare, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative people like you and me. For example, some of the classes they include are anything on photography, the basics, to learn photography, photo editing, Photoshop, Lightroom, like all the stuff that we talked about here. And my latest favorite class, TikTok Made Simple for Creatives by Karen Foster Williams. I've learned so much about this platform, especially about the algorithm and how to grow on the platform. So you'll be seeing me on TikTok soon. Thank you, Karen, for teaching that class. There's no ads and they're constantly launching premium classes, and it only costs $10 a month with an annual subscription. $10. Do you realize 2 coffees is $10 and you can take all these classes? Just saying. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. I think we can all agree that we have some newly found time on our hands right now, and I finally get to do something that I've always wanted to do, is learn how to properly cook. Previous to the last few weeks, I only knew how to make eggs and craft dinner, and then I would just buy all my food all the time. I wasn't proud of that. So the thing I've been doing is learning how to properly cook. Last night we made a salad and cooked chicken, and it was delicious. It was so good, and I'm super proud that I finally have this skill set. Not only does Skillshare offer stuff about photography and business, but it has a wide variety of classes, including cooking. So please go and check out Skillshare. Links are below, and you have to remember, the best investment that you'll ever make in your life is in education. It pays out time and time again. So thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this week's episode. Now, let's take Luna to the office so we can try to take some photos of her and some fancy lights. Sweet. So if you take a look at Brandon WOELFEL's post here with the cat, which is it's a really cute post. All right, so if we want to take a look at how he actually took that ending photo, what I realized is that we need a dark spot. It's still daylight while we're shooting this, so we went to the office because our office doesn't have windows, which a lot of you have noticed, and you think it's going to make us sad. Well, it's not. What we're gonna also need are these lights. I picked these ones because they're bicolor and you can actually pick the exact color that you want, which is really nice. So I have 2 of these. These are the Luxy cellos. They also make small ones. You can get these on B&H. So the other thing that we're gonna need are fairy lights, and I think Luna has been chewing on them the last little bit. Really excited about these fairy lights. I think it's gonna be really hard to shoot this if this is all she cares about. What I noticed in the background of Brandon's photo is that there was like big bokeh balls, essentially when there's like a small light source and you shoot with like a really fast lens, like an 85mm f1.4, which we'll be shooting with today, you'll be able to get some really big bokeh balls. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drape these behind Luna. So let's say Luna's right here. This battery is gonna be Luna. And then we're gonna put a big wall of these lights behind it on like a C-stand. And when we shoot Luna with all these lights bouncing off of her, we should get a similar photo, but like our own spin and taste on it, like a Chris Howe remix. It gives you an idea of how you could get something similar. So let's shoot some photos. This looks cute. So that is how you shoot the Brandon WOELFEL photo, or at least how I would shoot the Brandon WOELFEL photo. All right, so I think we have to answer the question now. Am I too old to be on TikTok? I think the answer is no. I think anybody can be on TikTok, really. I think ultimately it's another creative platform where you can express yourself. And as a photographer, I think there's a really great opportunity here to not only make some money, tell some creative stories, do some cool creative shit, but also connect with a whole community around the world that is really interested in this platform, rather than Instagram, which is kind of like closing the gap on how much reach you're getting. Whereas like TikTok's like, here's to everybody. I'll show it to your grandma and your grandpa and your dog and your cat, with the other 800 million users that are on the platform. So, to answer the question, yes, I will be joining TikTok. Decision made. Luna, I'm joining you on TikTok. If you guys want to follow Luna, another kitty named Luna, where is she? Let's find her. Ha! She makes trill sounds. Luna, want to say hi to everybody? Make a sound for everyone. Follow me on TikTok. Do you want to close the video out? Say it. Say like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified for future videos. Are you gonna stay? You gonna stay? Thanks again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. I guess I gotta watch a couple cat videos to figure out how to properly train and communicate with my cat. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Guys, she's literally just sitting here licking herself. I'm holding a chair and petting a cat. Remember when I surfed and played guitar at the same time? This is the next level up from that. You wanna play? You wanna play? You wanna play? Let's go somewhere safer.